A lot has been going on in our lives lately, and we really would like to catch you up to speed.
This time last year, we were in Arizona at Schoolypalooza. We've traveled so much in the last year, and we've got big plans for the year coming up, including a new rig.
Whoa, I want to know what else is going to happen.
Well, then stay tuned because we are answering all of your questions today in today's Q&A. The very first thing going on is that Frank needs to go get some more propane because it's kind of cold here in Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
We are at our friends Defining Adventures house. We've been here for the last couple of days. We'll be here for a couple of days more. They are so hospitable. We're super grateful for them because they are going to help us sell Sunny. So that brings us to our first Q, which is what are our plans for the future? Wow, the very first plan is to get Sunny listed for sale.
Sorry, I make a lot of noise when I do this. To get her listed for sale, we have to write all the things that we've done to her and fix her up, including changing out an engine.
Frankie's decided he's opening up an engine shop.
Yeah, it's going to be located right here in Chase's house.
Frankie's Lube is what it's going to be called.
And it's going to be really good for people to come in here.
Piston cleaning and everything. Y'all can cut that shit out.
Actually, there's been a second engine put in this. It's performing amazing. Uno. This one's always easier to get out. Dos. Okay, I'm going to leave you here with Alex. I'm going to go get some propane.
When we first bought Sunny, we thought this was going to be the perfect rig for family travel. We were pregnant, or I was pregnant, and we didn't have a baby. We didn't know what it was like to travel with a baby, what we would need. We just had this idea that if we had a bigger space, if it was more laid out, if we had a bathroom, that we would be more comfortable for van life. But it turns out that this layout isn't necessarily ideal. Which brings me to my next question, which is, so far, what has been the best age to travel with a baby? When we first started traveling in Sunny with the baby, it was great. Everly could sleep on the couch. We had this little cushion for her. She didn't roll over. It was so easy. She slept so much. Our first big road trip from Canada to Florida, she slept all the time. We would literally wake up for maybe an hour, hang out, play, feed, and then she would be ready to go back to bed in her car seat and would sleep for 3 or 4 hours. So 3 months old was actually really easy because then we were coming back from Florida, back to Canada, and by that point, she was closer to 6 months. So now she's starting to roll over. She's starting to need more space. She wants to crawl. She wants to move. And we quickly realized that we did not have enough room in Sunny, especially for the bed setup.
Alrighty, this question is from Lucy, our Patreon. She asked, do you think you'll be coming out west to California, San Diego, or SoCal in the springtime? We would absolutely love to come to SoCal, especially because the weather right now, it's below freezing out here. It's about 28 degrees right now, Fahrenheit, which is pretty brisk. When it comes to going to California, if we could get a build done in time to get out that way, that would be incredible, but it is not part of our plan at the moment. But if we do, we'll definitely keep you updated on Patreon and let you know when we would be coming that way. Thanks for your question, Lucy, and thank you for your continued support on being a Patreon as well. That didn't go according to plan. They didn't have propane there. But the reason why we need propane is just because it's absolutely freezing outside. Right now I'm using Jen's car from Define an Adventure. Thank you guys so much for just accommodating us and helping us out. And let me borrow your car so I can go get propane. How's it going, man?
How you doing, sir?
Good, thank you.
Be just a moment, I'll be ready.
Yeah, no worries. Man, that had to be the cheapest propane fill-up I think I've ever done. It was less than $30 to fill up the 2 tanks, and he filled them. Ugh. Thank you, Forsters. I have to tell some people about this. Oh, we'll be good to go for a while.
We've got a little bit of heat going in here now, which is very nice. So I'm gonna go to our next question, which is, how is traveling so much with little Everly? It's really nice. Even though she needs more space now and we have to figure out the whole bed situation, it's been really cool watching her grow and being able to do more as we travel. So going on walks and enjoying things and yeah, the newborn phase is kind of like the easiest in terms of like driving and things like that. But actually watching her enjoy things now, being a little bit more like cognizant, is amazing. Speaking of my little baby girl, come to mama. Hello. Can you say hi to everybody? You want to look out the window? See, it's so much fun with her, like, now that she's aware of the world a little bit more.
What is it?
Yeah.
What do you see? You got your face on the window? Is it cold? I got a question for you. What do you think about getting older and being in the van quite often? Do you like it? Yeah, you do.
What's your job for today, Frank?
I'm gonna caulk some of the stuff up that is kind of cracked a little bit. I want it to be nice and clean. So I bought some caulking that has a 600% extra stretch than a normal one. So I'm hoping, oh no.
What is that?
It's broken. I gotta get a different one. Good thing I bought two. I might have to go. I'm definitely returning this one. So let me go check the other one.
We did a big clean the other day where we vacuumed and we like wiped everything down. So I'm just putting the soft stuff back. So we've got our cushions with these, this is a window cover, with these awesome custom covers. And I'm gonna actually put some bedding on the bed because I feel like this space just looks nicer. You know, like when you're staging a home for sale, you want it to be like nice and look like livable. This one's broken, Mom. I'm gonna take that, okay? I have some sheets from my mom's Airbnb that she was getting rid of anyways that I'm gonna leave on the bed, and some pillows that we actually bought specifically for this trip, so we can leave those and not worry about it, and hopefully the next person can enjoy them. We're also leaving like a pot and a pan because we're flying back to Canada. So we did this road trip down and brought as little as we could because we knew that we would be having to fly everything back. Mr. and Mrs. Adventure want to know if you've got any plans to visit Portugal now that you've mastered baby travel.
I don't know if we've mastered baby travel, but we're much better at it. We would love to come visit Portugal and especially come visit you guys on your beautiful property. We would definitely be down. I just don't know exactly when that will happen for us.
Frank and I have definitely talked about a Euro trip. It would be really cool to do like a big van travel through Europe. That's definitely on our bucket list. But right this second, Everly needs a nap.
Thank you. Love you.
Bye. Bye-bye, Paco. Go for nap time.
I gotta keep working while she puts her down for nap time.
Everly is sleeping, which means we have maybe an hour or two to get some things done. But one of the big questions that we always get asked, you okay? About Everly is what are we gonna do with her once she gets to school age? And we have a couple of years before we have to figure that out. She's not even 2 yet. We might be able to get away the first couple of years, like kindergarten, grade 1, maybe grade 2, by schooling her ourselves. A lot of programs online now for digital nomads, traveling families, homeschooling families. So there are a lot of resources available. So I think we'll explore that first, especially for like the younger years. Probably eventually we're gonna get to a situation where maybe she does want to go to a real school. So if she's asking us to go to a real school, then we're probably gonna put her in a real school. But if she's happy traveling and happy doing virtual homeschooling, then maybe we can continue that for a while. So it's just really a big question mark that we're just gonna have to see how things go. That's probably the number one question that we get asked now that we're traveling with Everly is what she's gonna do for school. But the nice thing is we have a couple of years to figure it out. And we also have so many examples of friends and families on the road to kind of lead the way and show us maybe what worked for them, what didn't work for them, and to guide us so that we can make the best decisions for Everly. Oh! It's sunny, but it is cold out today. It's gonna be cold out the next couple of days. And if you guys have been watching, you know that we've been doing winter van life, which is pretty fun for Frank because he loves snowboarding.
What a dream. You like it too now. Don't be hating, you like it too.
I don't hate it, but it's not my super duper favorite.
You like it when there's good conditions.
I like it when it's like the perfect day.
This is the good stuff. This is what you came for.
But so, hey, listen, we've been getting a couple of questions about Mexico.
Okay.
We are going to Mexico, and we've mentioned that briefly, but we're going on a 1-week all-inclusive family vacation.
What? what? Living the high life.
We're going with my parents, my sister, her kids, and Everly, of course. It's going to be really nice. Paco's staying with some friends in Toronto, and we're just going to relax, unwind for the week. It'll be nice to not have to do dishes, to not have to cook, to be warm.
To eat all different types of tacos.
But then eventually it would be so good to go back to Baja. We love driving through Mexico. We would totally do it again with a baby.
Yeah, we would, definitely. I would actually do the trip all the way down to El Salvador with the baby. I would go all the way to Panama, but I just don't want to deal with the Nicaragua border again.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I think that is another one of our wants in our travel plans. It's just we got to figure out when we can actually get all this stuff done.
All right, we got to have lunch. We're making the dogs very upset. Casey, you heard us?
Casey.
Like,
What about you,
gosh,
Papa?
you heard us, Casey.
Yeah. All right, so huge thanks to Eric and Jen for letting us also move into their house for this week, because it's so much easier to clean a van and get it ready when it's empty and when you're not living in it, because when you're living in it, you have all your stuff in it. So it's been very nice to be here with Eric and Jen.
I feel like every time we sell a rig, we have amazing friends that were around that help us, whether we're like living out of their house or whatever the case might be. It's just a super huge help. So shout out to all the people that helped us along the way and we made friends with. What are you making here?
Just one of these super sexy pre-bagged salads.
Wait, is this the salad that chopped your
that attacked
mouth?
me? There are sharp bits, so I'll have to be very careful. Do you want your shrimps hot or cold?
Hot, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have some leftover shrimps from the other night that were very delicious.
Yo, Alex, I just got a message from Devan, the guy who bought Olive. He just said he finally got his first. Is that FnA's van? And he was like, well, it's my van, but it's still their van, I guess. Which is kind of hilarious. But he's looking at actually selling that van and get a third van like the other two he has so he could streamline his rental business that he has going on. So if anybody's interested, Olive is about to be up for sale again. And he's made a couple of changes to it to make it easier for somebody who's doing like weekend related stuff. So it's kind of funny because we're selling Sunny at the same time he's selling Olive. So two of our vans are up for sale. It's cold outside and it's windy. I'm about to spray paint, so I don't know if it's the best idea, but hey, got to do what you got to do. The other one came out nice and it was still pretty cold out, so I don't think the temperature with spray paint doesn't matter so much.
We did see some people graffitiing some stuff the other day, and it was frigidly cold. So
It was Canada.
if they can tag stuff below freezing temperatures, we can certainly spray paint this. Oh, so about Mexico.
See. Hurry, we need that one.
All right, so the next question is from Natalie. She's one of our Patreons.
Thanks, Nat.
And Nate. So she wants to know, what are our plans for the hideout? What are the building permits for? Are you able to live in the hideout during winter? So if you guys don't know, the hideout is what we are calling our 40-foot trailer that we purchased last summer. It's living on the back of my sister's property, and we were living in it all summer. Love the hideout, but when we left for the UK, we had to winterize it before we left, and then when we came back, it didn't really make sense to unwinterize it because it was frigidly cold already, and we honestly didn't have a very good setup for water or electricity yet, which is what the building permits are for.
The water situation was just kind of terrible, having to, go get water, bring it back. There was no way to pump it in.
And the black tank?
The black tank was just terrible. I mean, I spilled black water all over my leg one time. That was just disgusting. No. It's all over my leg. We have plans to build a septic, drop another pump in the well. We're also gonna put solar there so that way we can have a 50 amp plug to plug into and run everything off of electric instead of having to use the propane. We'll only really use the propane for the stove.
Well, and actually we have a generator back there, and the generator cranks and it works fine, but it's loud and it's annoying, and it's actually expensive because you have to keep putting gasoline into it, and so you gotta keep going buying tanks of gas to run your house, which, there's cost of living in a house. I appreciate that, but I think when we have the solar set up, we won't have to worry about that. Oh, and The main building permit that we're getting is for a carport roof to go over the trailer. We want to protect it from the sun and the elements and the snow and the rain. We can also put the solar on the roof there. I think it'll be like great to kind of keep it shaded in the summer so that the temperature stays a bit lower. And then in the winter, we don't have to worry about massive amounts of snow accumulating on it.
My question for you guys is, how do you think this paint job's gonna go?
Great.
I hope so. It's a nice sunny day. That's a big plus.
You think you could live in the hideout in the winter?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's a great spot. I think once we have a carport over it and we have like the area situated, the living space is great. We love it. The bed is nice and comfy. Everly has her own space. We could kind of, separate and then come back together in the center. Yeah, I think the hideout's a great spot, a great first home for us. Stationary home at that.
We did get the Arctic package, so of course it's good for winter.
Come on, this way. Let's go over here.
Oh, that's a breeze. Yep. That looks a lot whiter.
Yeah, I know. I did that on purpose.
I don't know about that.
We'll find out here in a minute.
That looks literally just white. We were having a little debate about the color. We did kind of like an off-white to try to match Sunny. Frank thought it was a little bit too dark, so he got this lighter one. But I think this is too light. This is like white, whereas the other one was a better off-white.
I agree. I don't like this. It's too white.
Might be a good primer though.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably use it as that.
We're already into it, so might as well.
I wonder why it's dimpling. I think that might be because of the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you gotta bring these inside for a bit to warm them up.
Yeah, I can't touch that one now.
Because the metal's probably really cold.
Yeah, let's bring this one inside. And then we could always sand that one.
Okay.
Well, we tried.
Here's the thing, we want to do it right. It's important to us that whoever gets Sunny is happy, and we always want to do our best. And so we'll just go back to the drawing board and make it right.
But like, look how clean.
I like that color.
Look how clean that came out.
That was the first coat.
Yeah. So.
I like that color, Frank.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's just, I thought this was going to be more this color. Like, which isn't far off from that.
Yeah. It's just very white.
It's hella white. Even if you look here, you can see that it's...
It just says white gloss. What color did you think it was?
This, the cap. That's normally the cap color. Yeah. One of the questions for us is, when are we going to start an OF? And honestly, we just wasted $9 on paint, so I think now it's time for us to start our OF.
That's a really great reason.
Yeah, I mean, but our OF is going to be like, just like family fun content. So like... We'll just be like walking and like holding hand. It would just be still photos of us walking in different places holding Everly's hand.
Okay.
Hey, that was my brownie. I was about to eat that. Man, can you take one of the small ones?
Ooh. It's even cold indoors. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the basement. It is frigidly extremely cold, to the point where there's an extremely cold weather warning today. The welding took a little bit longer last night than we thought. We're gonna wait inside because not only is it still freezing freaking cold, I don't want my baby to go blind. So we got home pretty late, like basically just in time to put Everly to bed. These look really good though.
Thank you. So yeah, now I gotta put them back together, but I gotta put them back together the correct way. So this slides on like that. Help her. Everly, watch your step, foot over. Good job. I sprayed these last night. They're all ready to go. Now it's just a matter of putting them back together, which could be kind of awkward.
Actually, the first time Frankie sprayed the wrong side of it and then put it all back together and then tried to put it on the van and was like, oops, I gotta spray the other side now.
This one.
But I think this color turned out really good. Frank actually went last night. He ran to the store and it closed like 2 minutes after he got there. So he was able to pick up another color and then spray it last night. And Jen actually had the amazing idea to spray it indoors. They have this kind of like garage area in the basement, so worked out perfectly.
I was able to ventilate it just enough. This is the difference in color from the original color to the one that we got.
Dude, they look exactly the same.
No, they don't. They're definitely different, but they're very close. This one's still quite tacky, actually.
Oh, really? You want to leave it for a bit?
Yeah, but I'm going to get... I think we could just put it on. To answer your question, though, about the UK, what was the most surprising? I think one of the most surprising things was the food for me. The food was actually really good. I enjoyed it very much. It felt like comfort food to me. One of the things I love the most is that people were genuinely very nice. And we had an excellent time when we were there. I really enjoyed the boat ride, too. Probably my favorite thing overall, like trip-wise, was Scotland, going swimming in Loch Ness. That was really cool. We did it! Loch Ness!
My favorite part of the UK was actually spending time with Chris and Marianne. We did our whole road trip with them, and it was so fun. We'd met them once before, but only for like a 24-hour really quick visit. And so we literally were with them for 45 days straight. We got along amazing the whole time. We still have our weekly phone call with them. They're literally family to us. We love them so much. And it was just nice to spend really good quality time with them. So that was my favorite part.
Really. Pop, pop, pop.
The plan for today is to answer some more of your questions. Frank needs to clean out the Nature's Head toilet. We need to take some pictures of the van so that we can get the listing for sale. The reason that we need to list it for sale is so that we can start our next vehicle. We need the money from this one to put it into the next one, which we're really excited about. We've bought a 14-foot aluminum trailer. And we're gonna build it out specifically for us, super insulated so that we can do winter travel. If you guys haven't been here for a while, we've actually done a huge amount of travel. We've been on the road since 2019, and we've gone as far north as Alaska, did the whole Pan American Highway all the way down to Panama. We've crisscrossed the United States a ton of times. We've been to a bunch of places in Canada as well. We're looking forward to doing more Canada exploring. Since now Frank has his permanent residency, we're gonna be spending 6 months of the year exploring Canada. So we wanna build a travel trailer with all of our experience. We've built 2 other vans from scratch, and then now we've renovated this camper home. So we think we know what we're doing when it comes to building.
We get much better at it.
And every time we build something, it gets a little bit better. So this next one is gonna be amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ta, so helpful.
She could use a bath, but she looks good. I think that looks pretty good. I like it. It like kind of matches these little pieces. Like this one's darker than that one, so this one kind of matches this one, and that one kind of matches that one. I'm happy with it. I think it looks pretty good. Let's see it from a distance. Yeah, pretty sweet. All right, let's look at the roof. See what the temperature feels like inside, because it is frigid out here. Oh yeah. Oh, it's so warm in here. We gotta clean up in here now though.
You want to crack one?
Nice.
Okay, put it in your hand.
Is he headed home?
Ready? Good job. Oh, you got stickies on your hand.
What do you think, Everly? Do they look done? Yeah, you think so? Okay.
All done.
Yeah.
Can you grab 2 plates? Yes, please. This like super simple taco has been our go-to breakfast for this trip because it's so easy. You just fry up a little tortilla, a little bit of egg, a little bit of hot sauce, and breakfast.
I'll take mine.
You want some too?
Yeah. I've been doing hot sauce.
Frank's getting spicy this morning.
Just gotta make sure to not do too much because then they feel it.
Feel it, feel it. For extreme cold weather, I mean, it's definitely fresh. Maybe it's just my Canadian coming out that I'm like, it's fine. I'm also only gonna be outside from there to here, so. And the heat's on in here. If you can hear the heater blasting, it's because it needs to. When we bought Sunny almost 2 years ago, we're only planning on her being a U-Haul to get us from Salt Lake City, where we sold our van, back to Florida and then to Canada. It was a built-in hotel, and we were like, perfect, we can just move in, we can live in it, we can sell it, we can flip it. The plan was always to flip Sunny. We just thought we were gonna flip it in like 6 months. Turns out it took almost 2 years. So when you ask about future travel plans, it feels really hard to know or like say for sure. I feel like there's a lot of things we'd like to do, but whether they will actually happen or when they will actually happen feels uncertain. Because we're building out this new travel trailer, we definitely want to spend some time in that. I would love to go back to Alaska. I would love to go back to Mexico. I would love to go to the east coast of Canada. We've been talking about that for a couple of years as well. I would also love to make it part of our experience to do a Euro trip every year. So if we could do something like we did in the UK every single year. We had some friends asking if we would be in Portugal. We had some friends asking if we were gonna come to Germany. It would be so nice to spend 1 month, 2 months every year across the pond. And since neither Frank or I have ever done any backpacking, I definitely think it would be really cool to do some Asian travel as well. I spent maybe like 1 week in Thailand and 1 week in Hong Kong a million years ago. And Frank's never been, so it'd be really cool to maybe do some backpacking in Asia. But to actually make any of this happen, we need like a solid goal and a plan and to just kind of decide what our year is gonna look like. And we've been so busy getting down here, getting Sunny ready, that we really haven't sat down and just looked at our goals and our wants for the year to really map out what that looks like. I feel like we're kind of living in the moment of what we need to do and not really thinking ahead. And the only way that these kind of things happen, I think, is when you think ahead and you make a plan and make it happen and action it. So all that to say, I don't really know what our future plans are. We have a lot of wants and a lot of dreams, but no actual solid plans of what that's gonna look like. So stay tuned. Frank, what are your future travel plans?
Ooh, my future travel plans. Well, one thing that I definitely want to do is go to Japan. I want some Japan in my life, so maybe next winter I could do that. It's interesting because the future always changes for us. So 1 minute we might be thinking one thing, but the next it might be something completely different. It just depends on where life takes us. But my travel plans at the moment are build out a trailer, get that ready to go so that way we could travel as a family really comfortably and have like some activity type of things that we could store in there while we travel. So that's like my immediate future plans.
Where are we gonna drive to?
I definitely want to go back out west. Definitely gonna do some Canadian travels. So that will be really fun and interesting. Oh, maybe we'll wind up back down in Mexico too at some point. So that's kind of where my thought is. Europe would be really nice, but just traveling anywhere, I think. If we have an opportunity or a possibility to travel anywhere in the world, I think that's like really beautiful. And it's all about learning new places. Maybe we could find some places that are a little bit cheaper, to travel so we could help our pocket financially. And yeah, that's pretty much the future. 10 years from now, that's a whole nother story. Now for the absolute worst part of everything when it comes to cleaning a rig. And it's not because it's like a dirty job, it feels like a dirty job. And that's getting the compost toilet completely clean. It's just kind of like, it feels gross. Yeah, it's not that bad. Just the person previous didn't clean this out fully. And it was absolutely disgusting to have to do it myself. So I don't want the person who buys this one to have to go through that same thing. So I'm gonna make sure it's very well cleaned for them.
Oh shit. So can you run down to the basement to the dryer? Because I had to put that thing back in the dryer because it didn't, the other piece of this.
It was still wet.
Yeah, it's in the basement. We made it to my goal for today of taking photos. So we've kind of got her staged a little bit and we're gonna go through and get some nice shots of the van so that we can list her for sale. Crazy. This one's just for fun. We've also made it to the point of the day where we've got our final question from you guys to answer, which is, what has been the most unexpected change of becoming a parent?
Ooh, life is completely different. The fact that we're not doing things for us anymore, we do them more for our baby. But we're trying to be good at doing things for ourselves.
Seems like everything is different, but everything is also the same. It's kind of weird. We've got like a new buddy with us whose every woman desire is our #1 priority. priority, but then we still have all of our other priorities that we still have to take care of. So it's just, it's good, but it's a lot.
The one thing for me that I realized is that, like, I love watching her go through every single experience.
Mm-hmm. And there's so much love, and it's so sweet to get the snuggles and the cuddles and watching her do cool things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's changed everything, but also made everything better.
Mm-hmm.
But also made everything harder.
Mm-hmm. So, for better or worse, right? That's what they say in marriage. They should actually say that when you have a kid.
Yeah,
For better or worse.
exactly. We love her, though.
Yeah, she's great.
Wouldn't change it for the world. And honestly, it's going to make traveling cool because we get to see it through her eyes now, too.
Watching her experience things is just so awesome. With that being said, it's time for us to get ready to build our next rig. So when we get back to Canada, we have something to pick up, and you don't want to miss what it is.
Hit the subscribe button because whatever it is, it's going to be FnA. This is cool looking.
Yo, it looks great.